Talking about Epstein, though, going back to him, there is somebody that predicted everything that happened with Epstein, and his name is Nicholas J. Fuentes. You may be familiar with him if you've been watching our show recently. And so what we are going to do is we're going to play Nicholas J. Fuentes predicting everything that is happening currently with Epstein. So here you go.
1 week before Israel attacked Iran, does anybody remember at all that Elon Musk said that Trump would not release the Epstein files because he was named in them? Everybody forget that? Are we really that stupid?
Yeah,
we
did.
Amnesia?
We did forget.
Literally 1 week. The LA riots kicked off on the Friday before last? And just days before, Elon Musk...
Anybody remember those, by the way?
Hey, the only reason Trump won't release the Epstein files is because he's in them. Enjoy. And Trump didn't reply at all to that. Trump played that off. Elon deleted it, pretended like it never happened. That was on Tuesday of last week. On Thursday, Israel attacked. Anybody find that bizarre at all? Coincidence?
I don't believe in
Because
coincidences,
after all, who
Nick.
did Jeffrey Epstein work for? How did Jeffrey Epstein make his billions? Jeffrey Epstein was, of course, connected to Israeli intelligence. His girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. Her father, Robert Maxwell, was a Mossad agent. Jeffrey Epstein was able to get his fortune from the Mega Group, which was a group of pro-Israel Zionist Israeli donors like Les Wexner and others.
He funds Ohio State.
Jeffrey Epstein was a creature of the Israel lobby running blackmail for Israeli intelligence. And Donald Trump was on his jet. Donald Trump was a friend of his. Epstein claimed this. Now, who knows what's in the files? Maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing.
Really makes you think. Now, flash forward, I believe if you go out of this real quick, because it was a part of my tweet, 6/17 or 6/17 is when this episode aired, and it makes you put things into perspective.
Yes, it does. So he was right about something else.
Yeah, he's been nailing it pretty much so far.
Yeah, for the whole year. I've been following him since I've been watching the live since March.
Yeah.
The episodes on Rumble.
Yeah.
I saw the clips right after the election. I saw my first Nick Fuentes clip, which was the My Body or Your Body, My Choice forever. And it was funny. Whatever.
It was a troll moment.
Funny troll moment,
yeah.
whatever. But ever since then, it's like this guy has been getting a lot of momentum. And I feel like a broken record, but I mean, his views are like really gaining steam.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's
Really
going on
getting
InfoWars
steam.
now. InfoWars
Like
is
2 times a month, at least.
Yeah,
At least.
Yeah, I mean, he was on it twice last week.
That's true.
He was on it
He had
twice
the
last
Dinesh
week.
D'Souza debate.
And the Dinesh D'Souza debate. Now, we're going to sit here and be told by Pam Bondi today on 7/8 that there's absolutely no connection to Epstein and the Mossad. Do we trust what Pam Bondi says?
No, I believe she was the lead attorney general in Palm Beach where Epstein was doing all this shit in Florida. So why wouldn't she have done anything then?
Well, I sent you this article, Luke.
Okay.
So we have Pam Bondi and the FBI. We have Kash Patel and Bongino coming out saying that they're closing the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. There's no client list.
Did you go on X? You sent it on X?
No, I sent it over text because it's a... I just sent it for you to put it on the post. I'll read it. So it's an article from the Times, the New York Times. Jeffrey Epstein's victim's diary contradicts FBI blackmail claims. The Jeffrey Epstein victim, Virginia Guffey, claimed that in her diary that the sex offender taped her being abused by other men to use for blackmail, seemingly contradicting a memorandum by the FBI and the Justice Department. The memo published on Monday stated that there was no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as a part of his actions. Guffey, who died by suicide in her home in Perth, Australia in April, had left behind a diary of her final months, which her family shared with the Times to tell the full story of her life. Now, I remember this, Luke. I remember her saying that she would never kill herself. This is the same girl whose family swore that she would not be suicidal and all these things. And the problem that I have, and I've been going down different rabbit holes. Obviously, we went down the Project Bluebeam rabbit hole,
and that took us to a whole different place.
That took us very dark, but I'll keep it light, meaning anything that revolves around anything shady. Now, I've been down UFO rabbit holes a lot, but we also have different rabbit holes when it comes to Epstein, when it comes to Israel, the Mossad,
right,
the CIA, anything that could be leaked to us by a whistleblower. 90% of the time, those whistleblowers, and I'm not talking about the government ones that have to get clearance from the Pentagon.
Right.
I'm talking about genuine people that were there. They all fucking kill themselves.
Yeah.
They all wind up
dead.
Themselves.
They all wind up dead. Yeah.
And the problem is this poor girl, she's the perfect candidate to be a suicide victim and for it to just get brushed under the rug.
I actually remember this. This was a couple weeks ago. Am I correct?
Which one?
The one of the victims.
Well, this isn't the lady. She's not the one who killed herself. She killed herself in April.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's what it said.
Maybe I'm remembering.
Yeah, in April.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways,
this sounds familiar though. I remember this story.
When was the article written? I mean, no, the article was published today, yesterday actually. But anyways, you might have remembered the whole suicide thing.
There was a story. There was a story where it was like one of the. She survived Epstein and like she was close to death, or there was an accident. And something happened, and she said that
she might be the one lady.
Do you remember
that's alive.
that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
She's still speaking out to this day.
Okay, good.
I'm
sorry.
No, but
continue
anyways.
on. I'm sorry.
So this continues on, and this is a quote from her journal. I used to be watched by Epstein's hidden cameras, which I have seen myself, she wrote in an undated entry. The FBI have the archive footage showing me being abused by other men as blackmail. The problem is that I have so far, and we saw Pam Bondi say it, whether it was today or yesterday, that all the footage that she got was just all child pornography.
Correct.
And you know, she doubled down on all that. What are we doing with that child pornography then? Are we using Face ID to figure out these people? I think regardless, why are we not at least being lied to? Why can't we at least say no? It wasn't, you know, these big government people, but here's a list of fucking people or something. Like we have so much power right now with the way that intelligence is that, go ahead.
Because of what you said earlier, power corrupts.
Exactly.
And they campaigned. They literally campaigned on this.
Exactly.
I'm not going to pull up the
set here.
You're good. I'm not going to pull up the videos, but I mean, we've seen Kash Patel saying like,
power
you will get full
corrupts.
Transparency. I will do whatever I can. Bongino, same thing.
Yeah.
Pam Bondi, same thing.
I have such a hard time. I think this is pretty much over. I have a hard time believing anything that the CIA or FBI tell us.
The only one that you could believe is Nick Fuentes. As crazy as that sounds in 2025, Nick Fuentes is the only person that you can believe. You find yourself finding things out before everybody else does.
Yeah.
And like he's the only one that I can trust that's like honestly telling the truth. Even Tucker, I trust him majority of the time, but some things, knowing that his father was in the CIA or working as an arm of the CIA, I question things. I can't keep my guard down.
And that's the thing. Nick questions Tucker.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, he has a beef with Tucker.
Yeah, which I mean is understandable, but then you have somebody like Alex Jones who seems to have his guard down when it comes to Tucker, and he's wanting to introduce Nick and Tucker and amend that relationship.
Let's talk about Alex Jones then, because I've been listening to him a lot more, and I really didn't listen to him before, but I think right here. And I think it's really attractive that he has InfoWars. Did you see he's talking about he wants to build it 24/7?
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. I like some of the other guys too. Owen Schroyer. He's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. Alex, let me tell you, he has been accused of being a clone. He's been accused of being Israeli intelligence. And he often says, like, I don't want to go so deep into this because of where it leads to the anti-Semitism and stuff like that. But what he said today on the live broadcast was very interesting. He's talking about, I don't want to go like full critique of Trump because like I need Trump because the Democratic Party is coming after me. I didn't know they sued his parents too. Dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And almost bankrupted his parents.
Yeah, that's what he said. Oh gosh, I can't even imagine just putting yourself in his shoes.
And that's the problem I have with all this. I could be totally wrong. However, I don't know when it comes to Alex Jones how much of it is also grifting, because we're talking about two different people here. Someone like Nick Fuentes, who's making all of his money based off of super chats.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people spending
sponsors.
Spending $1,000 on the spot to say hi, Nick, or to say something stupid.
Or they're buying the merch every once in a while.
Every once in a while when it drops. However, you also have somebody like Alex Jones who's trying to keep his head afloat, and he breaks every fucking 90 seconds, it feels like sometimes. Always pushing his store. That is his sponsor. However, I feel like he pushes it to an overkill.
The lane blow. My brother does a better impression.
I feel like he pushes it to an extreme. So sometimes it's hard to figure that out. But also, what would you do